Happy summer, guys. This is Brad from Vintage Camper Rescue. So people asking where I live in the woods near Seattle on some property, and it's just beautiful this time of year. I'm sorry for all those folks who are suffering from 100,000 degrees in Texas or wherever you are. But here in the Pacific, it's been pretty mild, so we take that. So it's going to walk through what the 2024 builds are going to be like. I'm wrapping up on the 66 Shasta, and that's my last build for this camping season. So starting in October, I start my 2024 builds, and this is one of them. This is a 66 Silver Streak Sabre 23, and it's 100% complete. I mean, this thing has not been touched since its inception, so it is going to need a pretty extensive rebuild on the inside, but the metal is all here. Just a couple of dents. I might leave them because they're not structural and they're not in the rivets, but they're like in the backside here, so a little bit of personality. So this Sabre is probably a long-term project. I'm going to just kind of tinker with that for the year. It's under the cover in the shop, so it can sort of sit here. Next up, and there's no particular order to these. This is just what I've got in the queue. The only way these get moved up in a queue is if I have a buyer potentially that is interested, then they contact me and I move it to the front of the line. Otherwise, I kind of work on these all simultaneously, and I can batch cut wood and everything. So this is a Winnebago. This will be a complete frame up restoration. I mean, down to the frame and everything. It's pretty gross, but again, this one is also, this is why I picked these trailers up. This is also 100% complete. All the parts are there from the day it was built. So what I do in Vintage Camper Rescue is I collect and save as many of the original parts as I can. Pretty much the walls and floors and everything is rebuilt with new materials. But then I service everything and put the original windows back in, hardware, typically new lights, but it still has that vintage flavor to it. That's my parts trailer back there. That's like a 70-something Fleetwood, but it's just my parts trailer. This is a 66 Aljo? I don't remember. Anyway, this one has been completely gutted inside, so I bought it pretty much just for the frame, but it also has all the windows and everything in there. But I'm not going to restore this one. I'm going to actually turn this one. Look at that, man. It was given to me. I'm going to save all the hardware and windows that I can. And I think I'm going to make this into just a photo booth type setup. I've got someone who wants to build a camper photo booth, me, and build all the structure in it. And so it's, structurally sound. So we'll have shelves and cabinets and everything. And I'm thinking about making a little photo booth out of that. It'd be kind of a cute little canned ham booth. And the next one also will be a total frame up restoration. A Seattle Fleetcraft. These things are cool. Built in Seattle. They didn't make them for very long, as I recall, just from my own research. Anyway, this will be another full frame up restoration, but this one has a bathroom in it. It was also pretty much gutted by the previous owner, but it has all the cabinetry, benches and everything. So this, I think I'm going to rebuild, and pretty much all my builds are rebuilds, not necessarily restorations. Difference for me is a restoration is, pretty much 100% of all the original, but mine are rebuilds with I call it a flavor of restoration. So this is cool. I like the huge back window. Imagine backing your camper into a cool spot, and you got this giant window, overlooking the ocean or wherever you are. So it's a great view window, because a lot of these campers have little windows in the back, like that one. Anyway, so those are the 2024 projects that'll be queued up and get started working on. So, like I said, the Shasta is pretty much done. I'm going to do a reveal on that here in the next week. So it's in the garage, but nobody gets to see it yet. I'm hiding it. Anyway, here's the very next one though. This is a Santa Fe. And this Santa Fe is also 100% complete. 1959 Santa Fe. And this is going to be a rebuild, and it's going to be rebuilt as original. So a rebuilt / hybrid restoration. So Dinette, I mean, these are beat up inside, as some of these are. That's why I get them pretty much for what I get them for. But I'm going to tear this all down to the frame, salvage as much of the original as I can, rebuild it so it looks brand new, but with all this vintage flavor in it, man. Not that kind of flavor, but the lights. Some of the, I'll put modern appliances, but you know, things like that. So again, not that flavor, but flavor. All right, so this is Brad, Vintage Camper Rescue. Just a quick preview of the 2024 builds. And any questions, reach out to me on social at Vintage Camper Rescue on YouTube and everything else. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of summer, folks.